We're here with Seton Hall head coach Maeve Gallagher after the Griffins' 80-70 loss to Gannon in the Atlantic Region Semi. Maeve, just your opening remarks about the game.
Um, it's a good battle, right? You want a game like that. You want a game that's neck and neck until the end, which I think we were. Have to be extremely proud of their grit. Hats off to Hallie Cowan. She was a monster, especially for us late. Um, and it stings, but it's a reminder of everything we've worked for to get here, and we knew somebody was going to be on the other side of it tonight.
You jumped out to a 9-point lead with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. What was working for you guys at that point that helped build that lead?
We really tried to pick up our defensive intensity, and we really focused on getting downhill and getting into our fast pace. And we were able to stunt them a little bit in that, and getting the ball in Helene and Hallie's hands, and having people just, you got to give credit where credit's due. They were just simply making plays.
Say what happened those last 15? Was it just they were making plays? Guys kind of slowed up a little bit offensively as well.
It's the late game curse we've been challenged with this year versus Gannon. In the last 3 minutes of play, they make shots and we don't. We had a couple critical turnovers, but we were getting looks. Hats off to, again, Hallie Cowan for making some big threes down the stretch. We had that tough call that gave them an extra possession, extra points. And it's the decision: do you foul? Do you not? I feel very confident in our team to keep things two possession games. And you got to give Bree Claxton some credit, hitting that big three with a hand in her window to make it outside of a 2-3 possession or a 2 possession game. She made it a 3 possession game. Was tough.
Last one, Maeve. You won 24 games, set a new school record for wins, advanced the Atlantic Region semis for the first time in 15 years. Just talk about the year in general, what it means to you as head coach, and what it means for your players as well.
Well, I think we have to be grateful for what it was. Right? It's like you're sad it's over, but be happy it happened. I think our team bought into what our what we want our reputation to be, what we want our foundation to be, what we want our core values to be from August 26th, and we never looked back. Um, we have to be extremely grateful to our senior leadership. These, people like Sakira, who her second half of this season and leadership was instrumental. And she had a big change in her role. The first couple weeks of season and was really pushed and uncomfortable, and she adapted and bought in right away. Um, you know, Joy Burley, whose body didn't work for her this year, but she bought in as a student coach and was extremely invested and never missed a thing. Even drove up here sick, and was in a mask. And then you look at Christiane Fry, who built this program on her back for 5 years. And, I'm emotional because you watched that kid go through the hardest thing I think she's had to go through to date as a 20-something-year-old. And I think a lot of kids would have handled it differently. Most people don't know she was doing a lot of our offensive scouting. She was on the bench making play calls, where a lot of people maybe would have tapped out. So I think our senior leadership in those three was extraordinary. And I give them so much credit because the transition of this program over the past 2 years since we started this with the change, they've been resilient through so many things, and they were locked in, team first. And we just talked about in the locker room that this year wasn't a fluke, right? This isn't going to be a one-time thing. This is going to be a thing that women's basketball continues to do because we owe it to our senior leadership. We owe it to our community. Seton Hill has been outstanding. Our gym is one of the best environments in the country. I will take that to the grave with me. Our administration, our SIDs, it's just been outstanding, and it's a group effort. And we just want to make sure that everybody knows that we'll be back on this stage, and hopefully with different outcomes. But our women are hungry. They've worked relentlessly, and that's not going to stop just because we weren't one of the last ones.
Thank you.